Let me tell you what this is really about. This ain't about phones. It's not about apps. It's not even about technology. This is about the world we now live inside, that you and I are currently operating in. A world that feels full, connected, meaningful, while quietly requiring nothing from you. I call it artificial everything. And once you see it, you'll realize why people feel stimulated but empty, busy but unchanged, connected but alone. Yeah, you've been forewarned. Now let me rip open my confession. When my life felt full but hollow, follow me on this because I'm sure you felt this. Now there were a time when my days were packed. Messages were flowing in constantly, notifications by the second, content and conversations everywhere and all the time. You could say I was informed, entertained, engaged. Yet something was missing. With all this noise, all this engagement, all this information, nothing I touched asked me to grow. Nothing I consumed demanded courage. Nothing I interacted with required responsibility. Yeah, my life felt full, but it wasn't forming me. That's when I realized I wasn't living in reality anymore. I was living in a simulation of relevance. And let me strip this down further. And don't answer this philosophically. Answer it honestly while you question your reality. If everything that stimulates you disappeared tomorrow, the feeds, the messages, the commentary, the noise, would your life feel empty or simply quieter? Because if your sense of meaning collapses when the stimulation stops, then what you've been living in isn't reality. What is it then, Jeff? It's an interface. And that's not condemnation, that is diagnosis. And it's Black Book time. Here's Black Book 1. What artificial everything actually is. I can hear you. Artificial what? Artificial what? Artificial everything, man. Here's the system law. Artificial everything is an environment optimized to feel real without demanding transformation. Here's how it works. It replaces embodiment with expression. Embodiment is such a big thing. Presence with posting, calling with content, discipline with engagement. You see, in this way, you don't have to be anything. You just have to signal something. And artificial everything rewards appearance over alignment, reaction over reflection, visibility over virtue. It doesn't ask, yo, who are you becoming? It asks, are you active? Are you engaged? Are you drowning in noise? So let me ask you something real. At the end of a full day in this world of abundance and noise, what part of you is actually stronger? Not louder, not informed, stronger. Because if nothing has been forged, nothing real has happened. Yeah, it's Black Book 2. How artificial everything replaces real life. Now, artificial everything doesn't remove reality. Ironically, it's still a reality. But rather, it crowds it out. Think of it like this. Why struggle through discipline, obedience, craft, and silence? Why struggle through that? When you can get validation instantly, like right now. identity on demand, belonging without exposure, purpose without pressure. You see, real life requires patience. Artificial everything offers speed. Real life requires consequence. Artificial everything offers feedback. And feedback feels like progress until years pass and nothing in your life or identity has changed. So sit with this. If your life feels busy, but directionless, stimulating, but shallow, it's not because you lack potential. It's because you're living in a world designed to keep you occupied instead of formed. Here's Black Book 3. Why artificial everything feels so normal. Now here's the dangerous part. Artificial everything doesn't feel fake. That's why you're looking at me, questioning me right now. Rather, it feels convenient. It matches stability addiction, false peace, optimized faith, artificial spirit. It gives you just enough meaning to stop you from searching for the real thing. It doesn't tell you don't live. It's not obvious that way. It tells you live here instead. And slowly the capacity for depth erodes, not through evil, but through ease. So let me say this clean and direct. Artificial everything is not anti-life. It's anti-formation. It doesn't stop you from believing. It stops you from becoming. And anything that stops formation eventually stops truth. Now, at this point, you already know if this applies to you. Not intellectually, but in your body. So before we talk about what to do, let's talk about what this actually feels like when it's happening real life. Artificial everything. It feels busy, but manageable. You wake up and immediately engage. Messages, notifications, updates. Before your feet even hit the floor, your mind is already occupied. You don't feel lost. You feel informed. And throughout the day, you respond, you react, contribute. There's always something to read, something to watch, something to comment on. Feel connected. Feel it now? Do you feel the connection? Yet nothing asks you to slow down long enough to feel present. And when discomfort shows up, it's easy to scroll past it. When silence tries to surface, something fills it immediately. Not because you are avoiding life, but because this world doesn't require you to stay with anything long enough for it to shape you. Now, by the end of the day, your long, arduous, complex day, you're tired. Not from effort, from exposure. You see, you've touched hundreds of things without being changed by any of them. And that's the moment artificial everything reveals itself. Not as deception, I'm getting goosebumps, but as substitution. A world that keeps you engaged so you never have to be formed. So pause here because that was heavy. No solving, no fixing. Let's open up our deeper reflection window and let's just notice what happens when I ask you these questions. Where does stimulation replace presence for you? What feels full but leaves you unchanged? What would feel uncomfortable if you couldn't escape it? Reminder, don't answer with words. Just notice where your body resists stillness. That's where artificial everything has the most access. And when you're ready, only when you're ready, let's pull this thing in close. Because we know none of this matters if your tomorrow looks exactly the same. You see, artificial everything thrives where people mistake activity for life. But real life doesn't happen on a feed. It happens where silence is tolerated, where discipline is practiced, where obedience is chosen, where consequence is accepted. So let's step back into reality. It's time to do what we do. And what we do is to do you. So let's do you, and let's do you together. 5 moves, 1 consciousness, faith meets functionality. We start with disrupt. Disrupt environments that keep you occupied but never require responsibility. That's that artificial everything noise. Disrupt that. Then you want to own it. Own this right here. If a world never asks anything of you, it cannot make you anything. Own that. Then you want to yield. Yield convenience that replaces character. Ease is not neutral. And you want to observe. Observe where resistance shows up when stimulation is removed. That's reality calling. That's you also withdrawing. Then you want to unleash. Unleash a life that costs you something. Because only costly lives create depth. This is how you bring you back. This is how you bring God back. Those are your 5 moves. That's your 1 consciousness. My beautiful community of influencers, in our final moments together, let me leave you with this weight. Reality is not what feels full. It is what forms you. Artificial everything entertains you. Real life demands you. One fills your time, the other shapes your soul. So I don't pray that you disconnect from the world. I pray you stop letting it shape you without consent. Because consciousness is not stimulation, it is formation. So BYB, bring you back. BGB, bring God back. Because you own it or be owned by it. You either run the system or the system runs you. Change your mind, change your life. I am who I say I am. Do you and stay rich.